everybody. Welcome to this segment of the Alexis K. Tyler, AKT Celebrity Reads. I'm going to do a loose kind of talking right now. Um, and then I'm going to come back when it's ready. As you all know, that love Nipsey Hussle, Armias, Joseph Ashkadam, and that also have been following me. I see that I have been doing his readings and passing his messages to the world and honoring him since the day he was assassinated, Sunday, March 31st, 2019, the same day of the release of the movie ATL. Um, we know that was an occult hit, an Illuminati hit, to take his soul and take his resources, and then as a group sacrifice, including his baby mama and all the people in the music industry he was working with to get as much of his soul and his assets and money as possible, and then try to destroy his name or suppress him and his legacy. Because we should be hearing him more on the radio, we should be hearing him more on the internet. It should be more of a promotion around him and all the things he's accomplished, and the fact that his brother has maintained their empire and his name and kept his legacy alive, which is quite amazing and beautiful for his family to still be able to move forward and be strong, knowing that it's like they lost a organ or a limb. That's how close they all were and are, because he's still here in the earth realm and around his brother, his father, his mother, then his grandmother, his beloved grandmother, Margaret Boutte, Grandma Hustle, left us almost a year ago, last September, and she's with him on the other side and their other ancestors, and also here, quite beautiful, but also quite tragic and quite sad that his death caused so much pain and so many people and so much heartbreak in his grandmother that she had to be over there to protect him and watch over him and take care of him. That's what she said when she came here. She was so worried about him, and she wanted to visit me to see was I really doing what I said I was doing, like doing his readings and feeding him and honoring him. And she saw that I was, so she was okay with me when she saw that I wasn't a liar and I really loved her grandson. Um, I'm exhausted. I haven't slept well. And I've been working. I've been so busy cooking, as well as I went in there yesterday and set up his other altar. He has two altars here. And I went in what Grandma calls the blue room, where all his blue furniture and the chairs I made for him and reupholstered them, and the pillows and things I made for him, they're in the blue room. And so that altar's bigger, and I thought it would be appropriate for his birthday because his pictures are in there. I think I shared some on the community forum and a couple on Instagram because they started beaming in there. So I know he likes all of his altars. He likes anybody loving him and talking about him, of course, and playing his music and doing tributes to him. Because so many people are still hurt and still miss him and love him to this day, as if it were the first day that he physically lost his life. But it's changed Crenshaw so much, and it's not the same without him, and it's not thriving and hustling and bustling the way that it was. And there's been a lot of devastation and loss, and a lot more lives lost. I don't care what anybody says, there still has not been justice around his murder. Eric Holder being put in prison for shooting him is not justice for his murder, because Eric Holder was told to do it, and he was a patsy, and he was told to do it not by strangers, but his so-called friends and associates and his brotherhood, the Crips. Male and female were involved, and he is very angry right now. I never say that about anybody anymore. I never say when someone told me they physically lost a loved one to rest in peace. That's not possible. When somebody's life was taken and they weren't ready to go, you cannot tell them to rest in peace. I say rise in power. Rise in power and get justice, because you did not lose your life in peace. So how could you be resting if someone took your life and violated you, or a disease took your life and you were not ready to go and it ravaged your body? There's no way somebody could rest. That shit is ridiculous. When people say that, you don't even know why you're saying it. You don't even know what it means. You think that's a term of respect or love or endearment for the person because it's what you grew up hearing. But you really don't know the source of that shit, and it's not true. If anybody that loves him wants to send me donations to put food or candles or something on his altar, I'll be glad to do it. I'm listening to what he wants me to cook for him. I already ordered it, so it'll be here this evening. I have to take down the steaks and stuff I already have there. And basically do what I do every year. I really didn't think that after 4 years, I thought that I would be through with the reading after the first year. I didn't know that I would still be here. In a space, holding a space for him, holding a sacred space. And the physical and spirit realm, I really did not know what an incredible person this was and is, and what a deep soul this is. I knew that when I saw him physically leave the body, he was getting ready to leave the planet and go back home. The real him, not the body. And that's when I realized this was a very old soul. It was a very old being and he's taught me so much. Amazing man, amazing soul, amazing entity, amazing being. And he said he chose to come here, and he chose the ethnic group and so-called race dealing with the struggle, oppression, and affliction. He knew the whole history of all of the races and all of the groups. He knew the history of the earth, and his ancestors had informed him. He said, I picked this group because I wanted to come to them, and I wanted to show them through an example of my life how you could do everything I do, as Christ said. Greater things shall you do that I do. And he said, and then they took it and they killed me. They murdered me. He did not say white people murdered him. I'm not saying they didn't have a hand in it like the LAPD and others, but when people try to say, oh, the government just came down and did this to him for Dr. Sebi, no, that's not when the decision to physically kill him was made. It was also about his real estate. It was also running trains through that area. He knew that was a prime piece of real estate. I mean, that's what he told me. And so far, nobody has told me that I'm wrong. That's what he started telling me. And he deliberately studied and joined boards and went to City Hall and studied music and studied the entertainment industry, studied real estate, studied different types of investments, and got to know all of these people. I mean, you can go back and look at his life and him talk about it and his brother talk about it. All these things he got involved in. And it was to show his people that he chose. You can do this. We can all do this together. I'm trying to educate you and show you. And I keep on holding on through all my struggles and all my feelings of devastation and pain to come out of it, to lead you and show you the way and show you how to fish. So now you can fish for yourself instead of feeding you. And they didn't appreciate it. Jealous ass niggas and jealous ass bitch ass females. They're everywhere. They're in a city near you. They're in a house near you. They're in a family near you. They are your motherfucking family. Niggas ain't gonna have that shit. Because you outshining them, you outballing them. And he's saying, look, I can show you how to do what I do. They didn't want that. It's not enough room for me and you. You got to go. The jealousy. the fights, the arguments. You listen to his songs, he even talks about how he knows that the police was hoping his own homies kill him and that niggas have been trying to kill him, and the jealousy and the hating. Unfortunately, this is a group of people where you have to get away from a lot of them and pick and choose wise of these so-called black folks, because they some of the most treacherous motherfuckers touch their own folks on the planet. And so when I saw that, how deep he was, and you deliberately chose this experience, he said yes, because I have been here before. I don't even know how old he is. He came here and was physically born 85, was 33 when he ascended like Christ, Yeshua. But he was much older than that, because he wanted to come back down here and he picked it. Like everybody picks. But many people are so under-evolved and don't have that consciousness, they don't remember. But you can easily regress, go into regressive meditation. You can remember. And the rest of us that are spiritual, it's easy for us to see it. And it will come back to us, or different beings that come from where we come from will elevate us and to know why we've done it. I've even met white people who told me they chose their experiences, and they might be in a white body, but they'll go to black churches or sleep with black men, you know, or white men are drawn to black women. And they said, I've been black before because I was in Egypt and I had this gift, that gift. They said, I wanted that experience. I wanted to know what it was like to be black. I wanted to know what it was like to go through that struggle and that experience. And when I learned what I needed to know, then I died and reincarnated, and I came back as another race because I didn't need to do that anymore, because I learned what I needed to learn. But then you'll see a lot of white people showing compassion towards black people and people of color and helping them with their struggle and not being racist or prejudiced at all. They have a natural empathy towards them because they know inside a part of them either still got some of that blood in them now and they passed, or they live as white, or it's very small and they don't want to discuss it. I met those that also told me that. Look completely white, but they might have had a black grandfather, or black father, or great-grandfather, and they don't discuss it because they don't want to live with the difficulty of white folks knowing that or having that stigma on them. So, but they will help others and be kind to other people of color. I've met those and been around them and ate in their house, and they treated me like I was one of their family. So we all choose, no matter how fucked up they are. If you don't remember, you'll end up killing yourself, or you'll end up struggling, spend the rest of your life being a failure, letting people step on you, or you will ascend by agreeing to come at the lowest point in the lowest family with the lowest, filthiest mother and the lowest, filthiest father, or whichever one, or both parents, and be thrown in foster care, raped, abused, anything, and then get the lesson and ascend. And he's one of those people that was so wise, but just in a very young body. These are the type of conversations that we had. And I saw him say, my head, that's why I knew he knew me like I knew him. He just didn't speak, I didn't speak. And he said, Alexis, K. Tyler, before I leave, let me go to her house and let me see, is she what people said she was? A whore, loud, two-faced, backstabbing, do anything with anybody. Had told him all this filthy shit about me. Don't fuck with her, don't talk to her. And I know that it is very possible because all of my enemies hang with him and his baby mama. That's the actress. She don't like me either. This is what he's saying. So he comes to me, circles my house, and scopes me out for 3 days. I still don't know why it mattered, but he wanted to see, was I fucking all these people, and did I fuck all day, every day? Was I classy looking and sneaky with it? Like they were saying, just a trashy bitch. That's what he was told. He studies me. He watches the cars. He studies the entrance. He goes from the entrance one day to the front of my house with the big tree the second day. He said he knew that was my favorite tree. To the third day in the back of my house. He said she's got to be a whore because people said it. So she's got to be sneaking them in. This has to be true because I've heard it so many times. It has to be true. And when he saw that it wasn't, came back around. He started hanging in my house. I was scared to death. I thought someone had broken in here. That's how strong that man is, how strong his spirit and his energy is. He said, I had to know before I had you do my first reading. I only want one reading and I'm going to leave. And we started talking, and he said, I need you to tell somebody a message. He says, my brother. And I'm like, okay, sure. You're not going to come back? That's fine. Just let me help you this one time. I helped him. He told me his brother's name. I told everybody, I'm like, is that true? Do you know who that is? Who's that? It's like, that's his brother, Black Sam. I put it out. I didn't expect to hear from him anymore. He kept coming back. One more reading to my baby's mama, Tanisha. Okay. I said, okay, that's it? He's like, yeah. Then he goes. Then he comes back. Okay, one more reading to my mother. I think Mother's Day was coming up. I said, you keep saying one more, but you told me that it was only one and you were never going to come back. He's like, yeah, but one more. one more. And as you can see, we're in 4 years. We're almost 4 years in. And I don't mind it. It's been an absolute pleasure. This, sure, as you all know, I have plenty of people to come visit me that were physically disembodied. Other than my father, of course, he's always here, and then he goes and comes. He hasn't really talked as much since Nipsey was here. Um, I was like, I'm going to let you have your time with him. I said, okay, Daddy. First, he's like, I don't like him because he was just like me, whorish, and I'm like, Daddy. He's like, I don't want him hanging in here too much because he's just like me. He's popular like me. A lot of women sleep with a lot of women. He did just like me. I don't want him here too long because I don't want you liking me. He hurts you. And he was like, sir, I'm not gonna do that. And I was like, well, I mean, you are like him. And he's just like, he watched him. He's like, I'm not gonna be friendly. Now they laugh and talk. They're buddies because he's like, I know that that's not his intention. He doesn't want to harm you. So then my daddy kind of fell back. But he's always here. Those two, who else? I mean, my relatives come in and out. My grandmother comes in and out. My great grandmother comes in and out. Whichever relatives the Native American ones come in here, which is my mother's grandma. My mother's father is half white and half Native American. So I see her, and she has this beautiful hair. I know when it's her. His ponytail's long, hanging down. But I let them do what they want. I don't really monitor them. They just get my attention when they want to tell me about a death or when they're letting me know somebody's trying to do me harm or wish me death. And it's my father, my Nipsey as well, let me know that I have to protect myself. They're going to try to send this spirit to knock on the door and walk through the door. So thankfully, I have them. Everybody has them. You just have to learn to communicate with them if you can. Everybody doesn't have the same abilities or have somebody around you that can see and hear them because we all have them walking around us, walking in and out of the house, and people don't even know they're there because they can't feel and they can't sense and they can't hear. I've heard spirits come talk to me, the dirty ones, the evil ones, since I was a child. Hear them very, very clearly, like I'm talking right now. Nobody had to do anything to me, or I didn't have to get any special classes. I looked for teachers and I lost a lot of money. I've talked to you about that before. I've spent a lot of money. I've even had so-called priests, well, they were Ifa priests from Africa as well as over here who tried to have sex with me and told me, I will give you power if you have sex with me. Or the curse I see on you, I will take it off if you have sex with me. I can pull it right off through the sex. And I was like, no, thank you. I don't want to do it. And I saw these women hanging around. They were doing that to other women too. That's what a lot of these men do. And you just have to learn. At least I learned. And I try to tell people that when they come to me and tell me, Oh, yeah, it happens to a lot of people. And some women actually, I've talked to women that actually fuck them, and what happens to them is they end up bound to the man. And then the man, sometimes they give them jobs or they make them very successful in their business or they create a business for them until they get mad at them and then they lose everything. Or some of them they fuck and don't give them nothing and their life does not improve. They keep hanging around and keep giving them money, and their money keeps being diminished. So usually that's when they have to have a certain amount of sacrifices. When you sleep with someone spiritual like that and something bad happens, that usually is a person that's going to end up having some bad accidents, is going to end up dying. They're going to take the person's soul to use to gain money and power and take all of their gifts from the person. So I saw that kind of thing happening. I saw some of the women rising up, becoming superstars in whatever arena they chose, but they were controlled and manipulated by that man. It was like a polygamy cult, really, a polygamy magic circle, where the women couldn't do what they wanted to do, but he could sleep with any and everybody that he chose that came through there, that he picked, and wherever else he met them. He was the only one free, and of course they're afraid to do something because he has spirits on him and does magic, so they don't want to be cursed by him, not knowing you already are because you're bound to him, and as long as you get along with him, you're going to have what you want. I saw these kind of things uh, happening, and I just learned that you can't really spend your life living in fear of not dealing with another teacher or finding someone else to help you, thinking that everybody wants to do that. A lot of people do. Those are a lot of times the ones that are in public, but there are a lot of people that will not do that to you. But you have to build up your discernment game and learn to trust and respect yourself so that when you meet someone that wants to help you, you'll know. And when you meet someone that doesn't, before you give them your money, you'll know. And if you did give them some money, look, it's all right because I've lost like hundreds of thousands like that. I've been out seeking since my mother threw me out in the street and I could get to someone else because she never taught us magic, but she practiced magic. And she wouldn't let anybody be around us for us to learn, to get educated, to get free, and to leave. And when I was pregnant, this older man told me, do not put my mother in my business. Do not let her meet my son's father. Do not tell her anything because she was trying to continue to destroy my life and was extremely jealous of me. A part of me didn't want to believe it, but in my gut, I knew it was because that's how she was my whole life. But I still let her in. And I'm here today to tell you this woman tried to destroy every aspect of my life and then encouraged me to kill myself, to commit suicide. You have to learn how to trust yourself. And that man, the way he was, he did not, he just said put a donation there, but he wasn't like really good as far as doing magic and occult stuff. Like his stuff really didn't work, but I understand it because he was only asking for a donation. He wasn't asking for, because a lot of work is involved in those things and you can't expect those things for nothing because they have to pay spirits and they have to stay up and do a lot of rigorous work to even tap in to have a spirit answer them, to answer a prayer for you. They deserve to be paid for their services. But the ones that did take advantage of me and ask for, I need 1,000, I need 5,000, I need 10,000. I was like in my 20s doing shit like that. And do I have any resentment? No. I have sadness around it, yes, that people would do that because they were all older than me. They were all elders and they did this. Am I angry? No. Why? You kind of waste your life. I'm to that point in my life now. You waste your life being angry all the time, holding grudges all the time. It blocks your blessings. It doesn't hurt the other person unless you physically are doing something to them along with the anger that you're feeling. But just to be holding it and they're not around you and they don't care and they're laughing about it and they took advantage of you, don't worry about it. Sure, you can do your reversals, you can do your revenge spells, you can do all of that and let it go and keep moving on. If you don't know how to help yourself, study. I get so sick of women coming to me, asking me for readings, and then saying, um, Well, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. Go to YouTube, pick up a fucking book, go to the library, go to Google, go to eBay, go to Amazon, look up books on magic. I mean, you don't know what to fucking do because you're lazy and you don't want to know what to fucking do because nothing's hidden now. Everything is free for you. YouTube is a whole fucking university. All these witches, any subject that you want, and all the professionals are here right here on YouTube, and all this shit is on Google. And they walk around and act like victims. I don't deal with victims because I used to be one, and now I understand why people didn't deal with me when I used to look for teachers. You think, and I've had a couple of women that I've had some disagreements with. See, I don't like, and let me tell you, this whole thing is not going to be about what Nipsey's saying because I don't have it all yet. I don't have it all. And I want to get it right. I want to be correct. All I know is he's really pissed. And I'm going to try to tell you a couple of things he's pissed about. He's still pissed with his baby mamas. Because he's saying they're not doing... I'm going to try to give you a loose reading, okay? But I can't give you all of it. So that's why I'm kind of dealing with things that tie into it. And how these things happen and how to stop them from happening. Protecting yourself, protecting your children from death and freak accidents happening to them or them harming themselves. Anytime somebody wants to harm themselves, because my mother had put a spirit like that on me, that's somebody put that on you to make you do that. And then also depending on the mother in pregnancy, was there a chemical imbalance and what type of medication the woman was taking? Because now we know a simple Tylenol can fuck a baby up, fuck the whole chemistry of a child up in the brain and affect the way they think and view and see things. And we know now that baby formula that they have, there are lawsuits right now on some of the most popular brands of it because of what was in it and what it has done to the infants as they grow up, their brain and their thinking, the physiology, to affect the psychology, the hormones and the release of them. It affects everything in the brain, which will then affect the behavior, the thinking, the view, the lack of a view, erratic behavior, and the development of the body. So if a woman is doing that and out of whack, the child is going to have chemical imbalances and incredible mood swings, be manic depressive as a little child. And a lot of people don't know that's also determined by not just the chemistry and the development or lack of development of irregular development of certain parts of the brain, but also those required jabs they make you get, all of that and the filth in it affects the development or lack of or irregular development of a baby and whatever the woman's taking, whatever jab she's getting, whatever medicine she owns. Now they are publicly stating that these companies are releasing, along with other tests they're done, that these simple things we get over the counter to take if you are pregnant will damage your fetus. Okay. And you're not checking them along with the spirit. If someone's doing spirit magic, like my mother would call me every day when I was pregnant with my child and I was living with my grandmother and say, God told me to tell you your child's going to die in your womb. And I'm like, I didn't do anything to God. I didn't do anything to anybody. Yeah, well, God speaks to me. Your child's going to die in your womb. And if he's born, he's going to be severely retarded. And my whole pregnancy is stressed. I knew it then, but I really know it now. That when you are pregnant with your child, the child is directly connected to the female's blood. So everything you're thinking, you're feeling, your anxiety, and the epigenetics of the baby's father's sperm and your eggs colliding. So if there's been a history of abuse and trauma, not just with you, but going back generations with you and the baby daddy, and he ain't shit, and he's taking you through drama, and his father did it to his mom, and that might go back several generations, and his mom has a lot of drama and pain and issues in her. Well, you need to know that it's important for you to know your history and your baby daddy's history so that y'all have sexual alchemy together, sexual healing, sex magic, and sexual education and reintegration and revelation of both of your minds, pussy and dick connections. Have mercy. There's vagina power church and penis power church. That's why everybody don't need to hit your bottom. See, because he's ejaculating and releasing, and you're thinking about that moment only, and you don't realize you have a whole crew of ancestors at this sex ritual. Whether it be a blessing and magic, or whether it be a curse to get pregnant with that child and bring it into this world. That child is absorbing everything the mother's feeling. So I had a lot of fear, anxiety, and stress because my own fucking mother put me out of the house and then followed me around to make sure I failed and was so angry I was pregnant. And I don't know why, because she had 2 children. She had 2 daughters and then got a son. But you don't want your children, your daughters, to be happy and have healthy children. This bitch actually said she wanted my child to die in my womb. And I would go into fits, and I barely left the house when I lived with my grandmother. I wanted to eat. I wanted to talk to my child. I wanted to nurture my child. Every day I was on high alert. And if I was sleeping and I woke up, and if I didn't feel that child moving, I would say, kick me, hit me, let me see, show me, I know you hear me, show me you're alive, move from mama. And he would move. We were very close, and I would see him. I knew it was going to be a him because I saw him in my visions, and I said, I can't wait to go. I'm getting ready to go to sleep. I would read him every day, and I said, I can't wait to play with you in my dreams. I will see you tonight when I go to sleep, baby. And I would go to sleep. There he goes. He looked exactly like he did when he was born. I knew what he was going to look like. I knew it was a boy. He loved me. I loved him, and I needed him in this world because I had no love. We would run, play, laugh. The same stuff we do now, we did when he was in my womb and when he was little. He did the same things, and you can do that with your child. I held on to that because I didn't want my child dying inside of me. I knew I would kill myself. I could not deal with laying there and giving birth to a dead body. Women are so strong that do it. And they walk around with that wound like they're still literally carrying a dead body, to have to be so excited about their baby. Like that lady that fucking doctor pulled that baby's head off like that. That lady's going to live with that for the rest of her life. Even if she has more children, I hope she does. That will be her first and her most royal and her most spiritual child, because it was crucified. And it was her first. I hope everybody involved pays for what they did to that baby and to that lady and her and the father, because she had the father right there. They're married. But anyway, as you know, I had my child. And then my mother then tries to rush around. And that old man that told me don't have her around when I was pregnant said, do not. After I had him, do not let her be around that child. She's going to try to cross that child up to put that child in misery, to hurt you, break your heart. That's exactly what happened. And you have to, you don't have to do a goddamn thing. if you're a spiritual person, and because even with Nipsey, that's what's amazing to me. All these motherfucking people, including his baby mama, I'm a sacred woman. I'm so spiritual. I can see now. I am more awake. I'm a psychic now. I'm a psychic medium. He live in the house with me. We in love with each other. He still love me. I still love him. But you made it very clear on Angie Martinez that you don't. And we see how you moving that you don't really. I mean, he was chasing you. He thought he was in love with you and had to have you. But before he left here, he saw that he didn't and went back to sleeping with everybody and having group sex like you. I like Tanisha getting the gangbangs and shit. Y'all didn't protect this man. Even if you didn't do it physically, the first ground of defense is spiritual. Mental, emotional, and spiritual. These women around this man were screwing him and taking his money and having babies by him as that's collateral contract of money for 18 years. But y'all didn't protect that man. Because even if it was spiritual, them bullets wouldn't have hit that man. He knows it. And that's what he's talking about. He's still angry at these women. He's angry at his baby mama. And he's like, bitch, you still playing games. You did not help avenge my murder. You did not help expose nobody involved in it, bitch, because you was involved in it. And all you was around here doing with them niggas you still fucking with that's blackmailing your ass, you will expose yourself. You a rotten, two-faced, backstabbing, fake-ass bitch. You still ain't avenged me. And I don't like everything you doing in the way you handle my son. You a dirty bitch and you sneaking around here fucking men. That's what I mean. See, that's why do you think I don't want to go into this man's reading on his birthday? God damn it! Why you think I don't want to repeat what this nigga's saying over here? This nigga wilding and off the chain on his birthday. Not birthday, birthday. I'm trying to be nice. This nigga wild, man. He's saying it's a lot of division in California, in his family, in the working environment, even with these niggas and Jay Stone and all these people acting like they trying to keep his legacy alive and trying to rap and be out here in these group and shit. He said it's division and jealousy and fighting and trying to get money and get attention and get ahead. It's not about me. All these people say they love me. They not trying to avenge me either because they don't want to feel the sting of murder. They don't want to feel the sting of prison for talking too much and using my motherfucking name in vain and speaking on me. That this shit is all broke up and fucked up and tore up just like Crenshaw is. At this point, it's like all this fake ass shit and these fake ass motherfuckers and this fake ass family, they're doing what they're told to do or what they feel like they're supposed to do or what they have to do like a rat chasing cheese, goddammit. Sucking dick at Nipsey. But you know what? Hey, it's his birthday. So he should have anything and everything he wants on his birthday. Shit. I'm not talking about his brother. I'm not talking about what his brother's doing. His brother's doing what he's supposed to do. His brother's father. They're doing what his family members that really love him and support him. They're doing what they're supposed to do. And other people that support him and support the marathon, they're doing what they're supposed to do. He's not talking about them. He's talking about, I get attacked when I say things about her because then it's like, you're just hating on her and you want to be her and you're jealous and I'm not. This is not, I be trying not to say the stuff he say. I would think after this time, maybe he's seeing something that he didn't see, but he knew her for years. And I knew he didn't trust her because he didn't marry her. She's not in control of his estate. I knew he knew something. He wasn't dumb as people thought he was, or so strung out and drunk in love and stupid over her that he would do that. He saw this. He said she has no honor and integrity. He said her character is questionable. He said in her reputation in LA and inside of the industry that people really know her. He said a lot of people don't respect her because they know that she has no loyalty unless it's money for her or it's beneficial for her. Very egotistical, very arrogant, and a narcissist, and feel like everybody supposed to bow down to her and kiss her ass like she is special. And she's a human being like the rest of us. Not with a whole bunch of extreme talent either. He's saying he says she's just as treacherous and more treacherous, just trying to be sneaky and slick with it since he has physically passed, working on other projects, scrambling to continue to build her empire and get what she can get for herself, using her children to do it. Because she has children by people that are millionaires. She couldn't get them to marry her, so I'm going to get what I can get, and I'm going to stay close, and I'm going to play this game until it runs out. From what he's saying, a lot of people don't like her. Sure, fans in the public that don't know no better. He said people inside of those industries in LA, a lot of them don't even really fuck with her like that because a lot of them know her character and they know that she knows what happened to Nipsey and that she was connected to it. See, this is what I don't want to do. I have to do it, but I don't want to do it. So I have to write it all down. So I'm just going to stop right now, y'all. I'm going to take a break because this is some wild shit. This is like really some wild shit that I kind of don't want to get in, but I have to respect him. So I'll be back. If you love and support me, donate. You can donate for me to place candles on there. You can donate to me to support what I do. But this is going to be a wild one, and I just don't want to go here. But thank you, Latoya. Yep. If they don't want to support, then I'm not going to keep on bringing the information because it's really hard on me. But I'll talk to y'all soon.